Hey YouTube, so it's Wednesday the 25th. Hey YouTube, it's Wednesday the 25th of March, and you can see we just had another inch of snow. You can tell by what's on the trees there. Yesterday we had 2 or 4 inches of snow and it was all pretty much melting, and now last night we got more snow. So it's around 33 degrees, so it's kind of falling off the trees slowly. But anyway, that's the status of what it is in north central PA. Don't have much to say about it because I just wish the weather would change now to spring, because it's going back and forth from spring to winter is driving me crazy. Hey YouTube, it's Thursday. Unbelievably sunny, and it's probably, I don't know, 60 degrees. You can see the snow's gone again. Probably be back in 2 weeks. Anyway, my wife had says to me, upstairs of our house, we had let some stuff up there that the kids had, and we decided that we're just going to throw it away because they never come around for this stuff, and she doesn't want their crap up there, so we can clean up. So anyhow, I'm cleaning this stuff up only to find out this bag is chicken food and I got to get the straw off of here, only to find out that the dump was closed, so I couldn't take it to the dump. So now I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, I think the dump should stay open so you can get rid of your garbage. I'll tell you what, I have never seen any weather like this in my whole life, where it's warm and cold, warm and cold, warm and cold. It's unbelievable. We just had 6 inches of snow in the past week, and it's all gone. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, it was funny today. They were putting the water pipe back together out there. I don't know why they took it apart, but they did, and now they're putting it back together. So there were a couple of guys outside, and we stood, I don't know, a little ways from them. You know, I did, so I didn't get anything or whatever. But they put this pipe back together up there, and I was talking to one of the guys. He was telling me that he's from Virginia, and I asked him what does he think of the weather on the top of the mountain here, and he must have talked to me for a half an hour. He was saying that he could not believe this weather. He said even in town, when it's warm in town, you come up here and it's 10 degrees colder. I said, yeah, that's normal. And he made me laugh because he was saying that where he lives in Virginia, they get about 3 inches of snow a year. And I was telling him about 3 years ago we had gotten 42 inches of snow in 1 week. And that it was so bad in the spring that when the spring came, the water was running down the mountain so badly that it soaked into the road to the point where nobody could drive on the road, and the trucks from the township couldn't even get up here. That's how bad it was. They had to wait about 2 weeks for it to dry up in good hot weather to be able to get up here and put some stone down. You can see there's snow in there where the pine forest is, because the sun doesn't hit there to dry it up too quick. You can see on this road here, there's pretty much water running there, and there's some running on the other side. 3 years ago, when we had that 42 inches of snow and it melted, this entire road down about, I don't know, maybe 2 miles was washed out. You couldn't drive down here. You were driving right on the bedrock. It was a disaster. And the following year, they came in the summertime and fixed it. as it is now, but man, you should have seen how bad this thing was. I mean, it's not great now, but it's a whole lot better than it was. And if you'd have seen it before, it looked like the bed of a creek. I mean, it was 12 feet wide running down through here. We had walked down on the side there just to see what it was like, and it was unbelievable for 2 miles down off this thing. You can see where there's a lot of rocks there. They had pulled, and here they had pulled a lot of dirt from the sides of the road. Of course, they didn't clean nothing up here. You can see where they left all the rocks laying. I guess they don't have a need to, but yeah, it was bad. But that was the normal kind of winter. Usually every year they would come over here and fix the road a little bit. But the past 2 years they really haven't had to do much. You can see how hard this drops off here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I would say down where this lump is down here, whatever that is, that's probably about 20-foot difference in height between here and there. And when that water came down through here, it sounded like Niagara Falls. So anyway, when I was talking to that kid about he was a flagman, and when I was talking to him about the weather, he said to me that 3 days ago, he had 2 pair of pants on and long john, and 2 coats and long johns on the top, and he said he was freezing to death. And he said right now it was this morning when I talked to him, it was about 45 here, and he said it was 75 down in where he lived in Virginia. Now, I don't know, that seemed pretty high to me, but that's what he said it was. I guess it could be. I don't really go south because I don't like bugs. It's bad enough that they're here in the spring. But when I was in the service, I was in the south. And man, oh man, the bugs drove me crazy. And that kid says, I just had to laugh. He was so funny. The kid said to me he never saw nothing like this, never even thought that Alaska could be like this. Now, it's not near as cold as what it is in Alaska, because some of the guys that I talked to up there was in the minuses, you know, minus 20 and 25 or colder, and it's not that cold here, and it usually doesn't get that cold, but he was really funny because of how cold he thought it was here. And he said this, you know, and he said about how it's so warm down in the valley where their main or their office is, but yet up here where they're working it's so cold. I think when you're flagging traffic, I think especially when there's no traffic on the road, I'm pretty sure he was going a little wacky just doing that job up here. But he seemed like a nice guy. A couple of days ago, this was all froze. Now it looks like a lake. And then in the summertime, it'll be all dry. There's sandy stone up here, very sandy. And we lose the water pretty quick. One of the guys was asking me the other day about the difference between red pine and, you know, white pine, like cutting it. This is red pine right here. And right next to it's white pine. Let me just back up a little bit. This one here is white pine. These are red pine. You can see how the white or red pine branches are off the trees and dying up there at the top, compared to the white pine that has branches almost all the way down to the ground. But they're both good for framing lumber. The only thing is you know, red pine is difficult to cut to a degree because you don't know what the knots have done to it in its earlier days. because you know, the knots get covered over with the growth of the tree rather than like white pine, the tree just grows with the branches. It's a good view of the red pine right in front of me here. You can see how nice and straight they grow, and the branches are pretty much cleaned off of them as they grow. Since they were fixing this pipe, putting it back together again, they had to put stone down on the road. You can see they put stone down here. It looks like it's two-way modified, and then they rolled it, so it looks pretty decent, but it's still very wet underneath. I don't really get why they cut the pipe apart, because like in a spot like this where they didn't cut it, it's low enough that the pipe had water in it all the time, unless they blew air through it. But it doesn't make any sense to me why they would cut it apart on private property and then put it back together, you know, a year later. That just doesn't make sense to me. Hey YouTube, so you can see that they're saying right now it's 56. It's only 49 here where I'm at, but it was in the 50s today. Maybe even 60s, I'm not sure. But tomorrow they're saying gradual clearing, but all week they've been predicting this rainy stuff. Rain, showers, rain. Monday clearing up in the morning and then rain. Doesn't seem like much of a clear up, but anyway, things as far as the any sickness or anything are good here. We're all good. We did have 6 inches of snow this past week altogether, and now it's gone. As you saw in my video, it's craziness. I can't believe how they're predicting this weather, but same thing like you can see here. I mean, when they say 100% rain, you would expect it to rain, you know, all night long or whatever. It seems like the 100% means it's only going to rain for a little bit, which was never, it was never like that before. I don't know who come up with this thing of planning, but anyway, that's what they're showing now. So, I haven't done anything on the sawmill in the past couple of days, but I'd like to tomorrow. And since it's Friday and it should be a nice day tomorrow, I'm hoping to get out there and do a little bit. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching my videos. I know that a lot of them are boring at times, and I apologize for that, but this is just the way it is. This is what you're getting from me. And I do the best I can, and just, you know, that's all I can tell you. But there's always something interesting happening around here. It doesn't last long to be boring. Have a good one, guys.